welcome to my channel first of all if you've not been on. It's a new channel-ish. I've had it for a couple of years, but I've mainly just used it for work and messing around with basically. And so what I'm actually going to be doing with this video series is I'm going to share my journey and the reasons behind why I'm doing things, and to basically keep myself accountable with these videos and hopefully entertain and educate as well. And so the purpose of what I'm doing is to essentially take myself from where I am now, where I've let myself go. A little bit of background on myself. So I spent 8 years in Commando forces, and in that time obviously served doing X, Y and Z, and then left about 18 months ago. And even before I left, I didn't run for probably about 2 years. I think it's about 2 years in total. And so I've done quite a lot to do everything that I can to not run, to not stay in shape, and essentially stop looking after myself for quite a while, because I was so focused on other stuff. Like I was focused on work, being self-employed, focused on helping others in my job as a coach, that I literally let my body take a backseat. And so with everything going on, I thought, well, why not use this opportunity to develop myself and also push myself and bring myself back up to a good fitness standard as well. So the intention of what I'm going to be covering is literally vlog style every couple of days. So expect a video every sort of 3-4 days, where I'll do day by day breakdowns of what I'm doing. Everything from what I'm eating at that point, what I'm weighing, what I'm measuring in at, what training I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and the whole process really. So my intention is, when we get into it, is that I want to be achieving quite a few things, and I'll just run through quickly where I'm at now. I am 89.6 kilos in body weight. And as far as measurements went, I'm not too bothered about the other stuff. At this point, what I'm trying to do is I'm focused on some very particular goals, just to get my mindset back into it. And I'm not really fussed about whatever happens with anything else. So my waist is 100 centimeters. You'll see in the video as well, I am pushing my stomach out, just because that gives the most accurate reading, because naturally, depending on the tension held in your body, it might be drawn in more one day, and then it might be distended more other days, whereas if I forcefully push it out, it'll give me the most accurate reading. So that's 100 centimeters with me pushing my stomach out. And then chest 108 centimeters, so exactly the same. So try not to keep the chest up, just hold a very natural rounded position with a natural lordotic and kyphotic curve. So lower back and upper back, just sounding how I normally would anyway. And then finally, just to give a bit of reference, I'm 5'9" too. Originally I was going to be doing this this morning, today being Monday, but I actually did this last night because I just psyched myself up and I was like, right, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it properly. And so what I did at 8:30 last night is I went and did my first PFA in probably about 2.5 years. Even when I was in, we didn't really do them because of deployments, or there just wasn't really a need to do them. You do them like once or twice a year tops, for those that don't know. So I did a PFA, and it was the worst PFA that I've ever done. For those that don't know, PFA is a personal fitness assessment. It used to be called a personal fitness test, but they changed it. And we'll go into that probably in another video. If that's something that you want to know more about, drop a comment below and just basically tell me what you want to know more about. I have a lot of experience in different things, and I can impart quite a bit of knowledge, hopefully. And bring you up to speed, especially if you're someone who's potentially aspiring to join Commando forces as a whole, or even just the army in general. So for my PFA, I did 52 press-ups and 60 sit-ups, which again for me was diabolical. I've not done that badly since even before I joined the army. And then from there went on to the run, and again, I wasn't happy with the time whatsoever. I don't care how long I've not ran for. Doing a 1.5 mile run in sort of 12 minutes and 1 second was what I got last night. After doing a proper warm-up, so the 800 meter warm-up, just as you would do as standard anyway, with the walk run sort of thing for the 800 meter warm-up. And it was a proper 1.5 mile route, and I did include an incline because we generally always had an incline in there with what we did. Or at least the majority of the time, because we had to have a little bit extra in the training that we did. It wasn't good enough to be like what everyone else did, do you know what I mean? As Commando forces, obviously you're expected to do a lot more and go the extra mile. So things like including a bit of an incline in there would obviously be part of it. So I did include that in the run, and you'll see down the bottom on the map itself, the bottom corner, there is quite a steep incline that goes up for about, I'm not going to say too long, about 150 meters. I say fairly steep. It's not, we're not talking hill reps here, but there is a notable incline. And then as you go from the south up to the north of the map, then there is a little bit more undulation, but yeah, it's basically not a flat route. So I did that one, came in unhappy with the time. And so goals wise, what I'm actually looking to achieve, now that we've gone over the basic stats, is I'm looking to lose 10 kilos or 22 pounds of weight loss, 80 press ups, 80 sit ups, 16 pull ups, and a 9:30 run. And so with the numbers that I've got back there, obviously it's a fairly big improvement, but the main aspect for me is the weight loss aspect and then getting the run time down. So that's, you know, a 2.5 minute reduction in my time, which is not what most people are capable of doing in the time frame that I'm giving myself, which is 54 days. And the reason why I'm saying 54 days is because I served in 5-4 Commando Squadron, Royal Engineers, and we did a lot of stuff based around the whole 54 number, so 5-4. So for example, me and a couple of friends, we used to do things like 540 bodyweight squats for time, or we do, you know, 540 burpees, or it could be, I don't know, 54 rope climbs, or I don't know, whatever it was. We would all do things related to the number. There was quite a bit of a pride aspect to it. So that's why I said, well, instead of it being 8 weeks, I'll remove 2 days, make it 54. Adds a little bit extra duress into the whole thing, but not much. I mean, you're talking 2 days, which isn't a huge deal in the grand scheme of things. And that's it for now, and then we'll go into the vloggy part. So I just want to say a massive thank you for showing interest in the video. And if you are wanting to, you know, follow along with this journey, then please feel free to go ahead, subscribe, like, do the notification thing, and I'll be doing updates every couple of weeks. Morning guys, hope you're doing really well. So I did my PFA yesterday, which was by far the slowest time that I've ever got since even before I joined the army when I was 17 and a bit stone. So what I'm doing with the time that I got yesterday, which you'll have seen earlier in the video, is I'm going to be doing every day 12 minutes of running as part of my daily activity. So I usually get out and do a walk anyway, more for like a stress relief thing than anything else. And so I'm going to be doing 12 minutes of running every day for a week. So obviously we're on Monday today. I did the PFA last night. I was going to do it this morning, but I did it last night. I was like, oh fuck it, let's just go. And then with that, next week we'll build on that a bit more. I wasn't really sure how I was going to approach the running initially, purely because I didn't know what state that I was in. I mean, bearing in mind I hadn't ran for well over 2 years. I've literally not ran anything more than about 30 seconds since leaving the army. And so because of that, yeah, obviously yesterday wasn't a good time, but we'll build on that, get back down, get Commando fit again. And then we'll build on that. And so yeah, my plan yesterday was that I was going to, or the concept was that I was going to use the time yesterday and base that for distance, but instead I'm going to work on time and track these 12-minute runs and see if I can progress the distance ever so slightly, but without hammering myself, because I'm actually really sore, so that's not a good sign. I'm trying to get down to, you know, sub 9:30 in 54 days. But we'll do it. Sub 9:30, what's that? 2.5 minutes to cut off and drop 10 kilos. Now the good thing with the weight loss side is that that'll naturally affect the way in which my body carries itself for the running anyway, so that'll naturally speed things up. I mean, if you imagine, you know, running with an extra 22 pounds and then you remove that 22 pounds, you're naturally going to go faster anyway, so that's it. So the purpose of this 12-minute run that I'm doing every day for this week is not to try and get fitter. Well, it is in a sense, but it's more about trying to build back up my body's ability to carry itself. And yes, it is working the lungs a bit because I've not ran for a couple of weeks. Sorry, a couple of years. But the main thing with this week is just reacclimatising, getting back in the swing and building a bit of a base. So with 54 days to do everything, you've got to make sure the foundation's strong, and then once it's strong, we can work off that, get a little bit fitter. So I'm going to finish this 12 minutes off, and I'll show you the next part, calisthenics. Let's see. All done, 12 minutes done, 1.2 miles, but I'm not bothered about the distance. The only thing that I'm really concerned with is, I noticed this yesterday on the PFA, now I've had issues with this in the past, is I've had lower back issues for about 4 years, no longer, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, something like that, and they've never really gone away. And I noticed them yesterday on the run, and I noticed them this morning, but I'm hoping that it's just my hip flexors that are pulling at the moment, because I did feel really tight when I was running. And I'm hoping that with some more mobility work, which I'll be doing when I'm back at home, and that'll slowly start to alleviate it, plus my body just getting reaccustomed to running, etc. So on to warm up for the calisthenics, and then we'll rock into that. Okay, warm-up's done. Next part is 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Let me have a look. Press-ups, half burpees, low plank to high plank, jump squats, pull-ups, tuck L-sit holds, and pike push-ups. And I'll do this 3 times through, no rest between rounds. 30 seconds work, 30 seconds rest. Just finished that off. That was actually a bit harder than I thought it would be, seeing as there's 30 seconds rest in between. But I think it's because, as someone who does or did actively go to the gym anyway, and I do when we're not in isolation, so to speak, never really did high rep stuff, apart from for a little bit of legs and whatever. Obviously that doesn't mean anything when it comes to body weight stuff, building that real world strength. So that's that one done. That's an hour of activity done today, which consisted of a brief walk, 12 minutes of running, and 25-minute circuit. I've got a long way to go, but I'm off to the shops now, pick up some chicken, and then I'll be off home to stretch. Bye bye. Yeah.